You are here with me. Welcome. I know you're going to enjoy this time on the mat to dive into a story from the Old Testament, to move your body, to breathe, and maybe think about some things that you don't normally do. The beautiful thing about cross yoga is that combination of spirit and body, that cross between what we can call the divine and the very human experience, between rest and moving. So this is what you're going to experience with me. I'm going to share with you a story from the Old Testament, and maybe you prefer to sit and still and breathe as I share this. Breathe deeply, or maybe you prefer to move in your down dog or whatever. So do what you need to do. Now, if you're repeating this video, you might just skip 1 minute or 2 minutes ahead because you have heard this story before. But find that seat or moving if you prefer, that makes sense. And it's a story from the Old Testament. I love the stories from the Old Testament. There's so much challenge and so much inspiration to be found there. But first, breathe. Recognizing that whatever you are bringing to your mat, God knows it all. And He welcomes you. Just surrender. Now Daniel and his friends was Israelites or Hebrews, and they were brought by Nebuchadnezzar, a king of the days, to his hometown in Babylon. And they were serving, Daniel was serving Nebuchadnezzar with wisdom and giving advice and stuff. And he was a clever man, beautiful man, it is written. And things have passed before we go into the story. But here, this king decided to build a statue, an image of gold, and decided that everybody in this large kingdom should bow down when the music was being played and worship this image, a gold statue. And if they were not, or they did not, they were thrown in the fire. Now, Daniel's 3 friends, actually Daniel is not a part of this. They worship God, the God of the Bible, so to say, the God of the Torah back then. So they did not want to bow down. And when Nebuchadnezzar finds out, he's furious. His trusted advisors are not following his rules, right? His pride is hurt. So he throws them into the fire. Just want to pause there. Now this might just sound like a movie you have seen 100 times. But try to put yourself in the shoes of these 3 men. They deliberately knew what the consequences was from not worshiping this idol. But they chose not to do it because they knew it was wrong. I just want to read one verse from that book, Daniel 3:17. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it, and He will rescue us from your hand. O King, but even if He does not, we want you to know, O King, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold that you have set up. So listen to that again. If we're thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to save us from it, and He will rescue us from your hand, O King. But even if He does not, We want you to know, O king, that we will not serve your gods. What does that verse speak to you or stir in you? And just be with whatever pops into your mind or doesn't pop into your mind, and do some gentle movements on the mat. Still seated if you're not moving already. I am sometimes praying for people who are sick or ill or having some sort of trouble. So I can recognize this. I do truly believe that God can heal. You might not, but I do. I don't know when I pray for people who are ill, if God, when I pray, choose to heal. So I can so much recognize with this saying, I know God can. I know God can save me from the fire, right? I know God can do it. But if he doesn't, I will still stand in my faith, stand firm that I believe God can. And I will bear the consequences. Maybe have another example in mind. Find your downward facing dog. Move from down dog to plank, maybe on your breath, and to down dog. I actually believe in our time and age that maybe, if you believe in God, some sort of believe in God, there actually will be more consequences from believing also in the future. Walk your feet to the top end of the mat and just roll forward. There might be more ridicule. I might be made fun of as I do Christian yoga, right? But am I willing to carry that? Stand tall, stand firm in what I believe in. Are you willing to stand firm in what you believe in? Get yourself into a standing posture. Reach the arms out to the side, up over your head, and maybe go for a small back bend. Reach your arms out. And then bring your hands up again towards the sky. Fold forward. Reaching down on the floor. Reach your right leg back and keep your hands down, at least just for now. Twisting, so turn your navel towards the inner thigh, left arm reach up. If you got a block, you might want to use that under your right hand here if the floor is far away. And then we're going to draw a circle. So bring the left hand back. I'm going to stretch out the front leg. I love that. And then bring the arms to the front again. So slow circles. And next time your hand is down, pivot or turn the back foot around, warrior two. So heel arch alignment maybe. Reach the arms out. Take a deep breath in and sigh out. Let the palms face up and gather the palms on the top of your head. Extend the front leg and then lean back, staying in a small line so you're still keeping your shoulders and hips stacked somewhat. And then windmill your arms around, chest towards the floor, back heel off, step the front foot back, go for a plank. Inhale. And then lower down in between your hands on knees or toes, lifting up into a cobra or your up dog. Downward facing dog. Make sure you soften your knees in your down dog. No need to stretch them completely. Walk or jump to the top of the mat. Fold forward. In case your core reach up into high mountain. Back bending. Open up your chest. Maybe open up your heart. Am I willing to stand firm in what I believe in, the values that I have also? When people don't like what I'm saying. Tall spine and then fold forward. Repeating the sequence on the other side. So your left foot reaches back. Remember, block underneath your left hand if that's better. Twisting. Circle motion with the arm, shoulder. Just move with your legs, whatever makes sense in your body. And when your hand is down the next time, warrior two. Turn the back foot, reach the arms up and get the distance in between your legs that works for you. Notice that your knee is not dropping in. Hands together on top of your head. Extend the front leg. Lean back with the core a little bit in. And then that plank to low plank. Slow and gentle transitions from posture to posture. Inhale your plank, and as you exhale, lower down. Maybe not taking your shoulders all the way down, lifting through your sternum and your down dog. Repeating at least some parts of it. Come to the front, fold forward, adding postures. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Go for that back bend again. Maybe you exhale. Straighten your spine, inhale. Folding forward, exhale. Right leg up, inhale. Tuck the toes, lower down, exhale. Just one circle. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Do the circle, exhale. Inhaling, preparing warrior two. Back foot around. And warrior two. Palms together, extend the front leg, inhale. Lean and back, exhale. Keep the palms together as you reach up. Keep the foot and legs where they are. And then lean forward in a variation of triangle. Reaching up again. And then bring your hands down on the mat and kind of shift away from the front foot. Kind of scooch the way back, bending down in your back leg. Again, coming to the front of the mat, you're going to take the back heel off. We're going to go to a lunge posture, so reach the arms up overhead. Last few things in this Added sequence, palms together, navel in, twisting. So as you might know, you can hover your twist with the right hand or going all the way down to grab that knee. Now the next part might be a little bit challenging, but you can see. We're going to step the back foot to meet the front foot at the top of the mat. So see if you can keep the twist going and step the feet together there and sit in a chair with a twist. How did you like that? And then lean forward. Halfway lift. Step or jump, your feet back. We're going to go for that vinyasa. Lower down. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Take a breath. Come to the front. Fold forward. High mountain, reach up. Sigh out. Warming up our bodies, warming up our souls. Maybe to be more courageous, like Daniel's friends were. Fold forward. Left foot behind you. Exhale as you lower the hip, extend the back leg without hyperextending the knee. Light right hand up and circle motion. Warrior two, prepare as you inhale. And find that beautiful warrior two as you exhale. Palms together, extend the front leg, inhale. Lean in back, exhale. Variation of triangle. Reaching up, leaning forward, slowing down as we want to keep this side same pace as the other. One breath. Then bending the front leg, take your hands down on the inside of that arch, and then kind of move back. And really just finding any kind of variation here. Somewhat prefer to lift the heel off, go lower than I do. And then move back as I turn around, align my shoulders with the short end of the mat, I pivot the back heel off, so I'm able to find my high lunge. Prayer posture. Arms here aligned with the floor, shoulders back, and keep them there as you twist, again hovering or hugging in that knee. And get the top shoulder to squeeze a little bit back to broaden in front of your chest. And we're going to try to see if we can step the back foot to meet the front foot. One big step. Chair pose with a twist. Release, folding forward, halfway lift, and then step back. Gonna do a vinyasa, lower down, cobra or up dog. And maybe you choose to stay with your knees down, child's pose. We have the sequence one more time, adding the last balanced postures, but just a pause here. Some of you would know that Daniel's friends, as they were thrown in the furnace, in the fire, that they were actually saved. I didn't share that before, but maybe you know it. When we know the full story, it might be easier to say, they knew they were going to be rescued, but they did not. They were willing to die for what they believed in. And I'm really challenged by that in my comfortable Western lifestyle. We are so afraid of suffering. I can recognize, I can be honest, I am. Again, find your downward facing dog. And know I'm sharing a lot of quite deep things as we do our flow today, but I'll make sure to wrap it up in the end. Last two here. Come to the front, folding forward. And maybe engaging your breath as we reach up, inhale. Exhale, open up, and maybe honestly saying, I am not as strong as I wish I was. Oh. Reach the hands up overhead and again fold forward. Right leg up and back. Toes down. Left hand, reach up, inhale. Circle motion back. Warrior two. And lower down. Palms together, stretch the front leg, inhale. Core in as you lean back, exhale. Keep the core knitted in, reach up, inhale. Exhale, lean forward in that triangle motion. Inhale, lifting up again. And exhale, bring your hands to the inside of the front foot. And as you inhale, you might just move back, kind of pushing yourself back. Exhaling, finding that stretch here. Inhale, again, walk your hands to the front, back heel off. Exhale as you prepare to find that lunge. Don't be too much in a hurry here. Reach the arms up, inhale. Going low, extend the back leg, exhale. Twisting to your left side. Keep the gaze on the floor, maybe in front of the front foot as you try to step. Maybe don't do it, maybe do it to the front. Twisting into here. And then lean here to the front in traditional chair. And from this, we're going to spread out our wings. Reach the arms out. Lift the right leg back. Go for an airplane. From here, we're going to transition. Remember, we're just going to do these balance postures once. So we're going to stay in them for a few breaths to get the full benefits. Gonna dance. So if you feel like you need a pause to shake things out, please do so. If not, come into a mountain, still with your right leg lifted. Bring the right hand behind your thumb pointing back. I'll go for the arch of the foot, the right foot. Kick my foot into my hand, leaning forward, gaze on the floor. It's a hard posture. We just do what we can. Ooh. Letting go. No need to be picture perfect here. Step back, downward facing dog. And then optional vinyasa. So stay put or do your plank. Inhale. Stand firm in your shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Cobra up dog, inhale. Down dog, sigh out if you want to. One breath here. To the front. Fold forward. Reach the arms up. Back bending. Again. Arms up, fold forward. Left foot back. Twisting right hand towards the sky. Circle motion back, exhale. Pivot the back foot, reach the arms up, inhale. And finding that warrior, exhale. Palms together, extend front leg. Lean in back as you exhale. Your core is going to lift you up and lean you forward with the shoulders stacked somewhat. Inhale coming up. Slowly, gracefully take your hands down to the sole of the foot. And then inhale to move back, sit down here. Again, slowly walking yourself around, making your legs prepared for your high lunge. Reach the arms up. And maybe you exhale as you actually get there. Twisting. Step the back foot to the front. Chair with a twist. Traditional twist or traditional chair. And then again, we're going to fly. So reach the arms out and left foot moves back for that balance on this side. And you can do your warrior 3 if you prefer, actually. Just bring your hands together. Back feet are pointing down, our toes. One more breath. Dancer. So keep yourself somewhat steady, coming into a mountain. Thumb, I'm saying, back, reach the arch, kick it in. Going for this rounding in your back as you lean forward, gaze on the floor. Spread out your toes on the standing foot and keep breathing. Release. And this time you're just going to step the left to the back of the mat. Turn around. Wide stance. Fold forward. Just going for a soft, wide-legged forward fold. And then last vinyasa, if you're up for it, so walk your hands to the top of the mat where they have been quite a few times already. Step back, down dog, stay put, or that vinyasa going to plank. Lower down. Cobra up dog, and then your child's pose. And you can actually bring your elbows pretty much to the front. Lean your forehead down. I'm going to do that in just a moment when I've finished my cueing here. Palms together. Then take your hands behind your head. So that your palms or your thumbs are pointing back. And I would actually prefer to walk my elbows a little bit more to the front. You can always widen the distance also. So stay there or in any child's pose or on your belly and just listen to the last part of the story that it did not reveal just earlier on. So these 3 guys are thrown in this really hot furnace. It actually says that the man who threw them in the furnace died because of the heat coming out of this furnace. So they were thrown in there, and then it says, and tied up as well. And then Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, "Weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?" They replied, "Certainly, O king." He said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th look like a son of the gods." Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the fire furnace, a blazing furnace, and shouted to these 3 men, come out here." And the men came out of the fire. And they didn't even smell or anything. So they were all of a sudden in this fire, but not alone. Not alone. Come into your tabletop and do your cat. then we're going to do a pigeon pose. So you can actually just walk your hands further to the front and bring your right shin on the mat there. Move the back knee further back if that's accessible. Point the toes. And then maybe stay on your hands or come down on elbows, whatever works. Reversed pigeon pose on your back with the knee up if you don't feel it in your knee. Or if you feel pain in your knee. So these 3 guys were saved. But not just saved, kind of unintentionally. I love the fact that there was this Son of God, an angel, Jesus, we don't know, but this 4th person. So that speaks to me that if I say no, or if I stand firm in what I believe in, no matter what, and I am actually thrown into the fire, God is there with me. Again, I don't know if the fire will consume me, speaking in an imagery language, but I know that God will be there. I'm not alone. Come up on your hands and whatever posture that is great for you after pigeon pose. I like my down dog. Opposite side. So avoid lifting the shin bone off the mat. I rather kind of wiggle my way back on that extended back leg there. So looking back in your life through maybe some of the harder things in your life, could you see God's hand somewhere? Maybe you don't believe in God, believed in God through that time, but maybe somehow God's presence or an angel's presence was there. Think back. As you healed. Getting out of pigeon pose, hands down, step the foot back. And then we're going to come down to a seat and then more resting. If you're somewhere where it's a little bit cold, you might take your socks on, bring a blouse or even a blanket. We're not going to rest yet though, but getting there soon. So a variation of a spinal twist with a stretch on the front thigh. So just look at the screen. There's a lot of left and rights here. So bend your knees 90 degrees and move them to your right side, for example. Now, the bottom leg, extend it out like I do here, and then bend it so that your left hand might be able to reach for the toes there. Now my left hand or the other hand, the hand that's free, is going to pull down on my knee for that spinal twist. And the other one is going to really stretch my thigh. And then I'm going to try to relax. Breathe. And release. Take a few breaths just with your feet on the floor, knees bended. And I just want to add the last thing about this story, but because it actually has just a few more verses on it, or to it. It actually says that Nebuchadnezzar, after experiencing this miracle of these 3 people, 3 men surviving in that fire, he declares that God in heaven is the one to be worshipped. So in the end, God is giving the glory. And I love that. Coming to the opposite side. Bending both legs. You can definitely just stay put here. Or extend the bottom leg out and then bend it again for the fingers to reach the toes. And relax. So both legs are resting somewhat on the floor. Heavy. So to wrap up our time together, is there a specific choice that you can think of right now that's where it's maybe where you feel like those 3 guys, right, standing in that, am I gonna stay in what, stay true to what I believe in? Or am I gonna compromise? Do I dare to take the consequences of staying true to what I believe in? And maybe ask that or pray that prayer of trust that no matter what happens, no matter what happens with my career, with other people's opinions about you, finances, all of that, can we trust that God is in control? God has it. When God guides, God also provides. Let yourself go and come back on your mat. Just staying here for a short minute. No need to think or pray a whole lot unless you really feel called to do so, but just maybe leaning into the trust, leaning into that surrender of lack of encouragement, maybe asking for help, guidance. If you're ready to finish our time together, Move your ankles, your wrists. Staying on the floor for just a moment more. You might want to hug in your knees. And please read the book of Daniel. It's almost before the New Testament, if you find it hard to find in the Bible. It's, at least the first part has a lot of great stories. And I'm definitely going to go back to Daniel, maybe next week, I don't know yet. But that book is very interesting, I think. So I read from Daniel chapter 3, quite a long chapter. All right. May God bless you, and may you stay true to what you believe in, and may God guide you also to bear the consequences. Thank you.